In the darkness of the house, surrounded by twilight silence, my footsteps echoed like a condemned march to fear. I returned from the living room after finishing the movie, which I must admit, turned out to be much less frightening than I anticipated. Deciding that my night was over, I headed to the bedroom, hoping for a respite in sleep. But fate had other plans. However, when the clock struck 5:15, it was interrupted by an unearthly sound. The sound of shattered crockery pierced the silence like a summons to fear and unease. Instantly, my thoughts raced for explanations, but they drowned in a flood of dark conjectures. A cat? What if I don't have a cat? Alarm seized me as I emerged from the bedroom, my steps sounding louder than I expected. In the deep darkness of the house, I felt like a prisoner in a castle of ghosts, where every sound became a beckoning to unknown horror. My hand trembled as I approached the kitchen, where the crockery had broken. In the room, an impenetrable darkness reigned, with only the moon through the window casting its deathly light. I squinted into the darkness, and suddenly a silhouette. In the shadow of the open window stood the figure of a tall man, whose features were too blurred to discern. My soul stopped. My thoughts froze like a wave frozen before crashing. My heart beat so loudly it seemed it might burst from my chest. But I couldn't run. My body stood there, a prisoner of my own fear. I screamed, but my words were lost in endless darkness. The figure did not move, as if it were part of the night, and my existence was insignificant against it. I hesitated, my mind searching for an explanation, but found nothing but emptiness and terror. Finally, I gathered the remnants of my courage and stepped forward into the dark unknown. My legs moved heavily across the floor tiles. My breath was a whimpering whisper. The closer I got to the window, the stronger I felt the presence of this unknown entity. When I reached the window, I froze in amazement. Where the figure should have been, there was now only dark emptiness. I felt cold sweat drenching my body, my hands shaking like leaves in a windy night. The sensation was so real that I couldn't simply forget it. I stayed there by the window, as if frozen in time. My thoughts whirled in chaos, trying to understand what had happened, but the answer eluded me like a ghost in the dark. As dawn broke through the window, I finally dared to exhale. Morning came, and with it came relief. But the memory of this night remained with me like a shadow, carrying within it the promise of mystery and fear. I will never dare to stay home alone again. There are things in this world that are better left in the dark, where they belong.